Hey everybody, welcome back. Been a crazy summer. I haven't made a lot of videos. Had the kids for the summer, so been a little loud and crazy around here. But I want to talk two things: soul binding and covenants. And we got some new events, new generals. I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible and as thorough as possible. I'll put my spreadsheets in the comment section, the link to the Discord. If it expires, message me, let me know. I'll resend it again or send it directly to you. Let's talk about the soul binding real quick. So, it only lasts for 14 days. It costs 100 binding essence, and the general that you're binding with has to be fully awakened and has to have all the specialties maxed out. So, like Elise, I could use. So let's say I want to bring, and all it's going to do now is it will increase if that person that you're binding with, their leadership, attack, defense, and politics has to be higher than the person that they're binding to. So we'll use Suchet right here. And then I'm going to add in Elise because she's the only one I can add. She's my only ground that's fully awakened and everything. So I was saying, Elise, she's the only general I have that has max specialties and is fully awakened. So I'll select her. And you click on the little hourglass up here, the little magnifying glass in the corner. And it's going to show you. What it's going to do is it's going to bring his fourth specialty down and max it out. And it will increase his leadership, attack, defense, and politics by a little bit. So if you have a general that has 0 specialties done and one that's all the way done, like my Elise, that is going to help you a whole lot more. It's going to help a little bit. So I would bind them too. And you can only bind generals that are, like I said, fully awakened with specialties all the way open too. And you can only bind generals of these troop types. So you can only bind ground to ground, mounted to mounted, range to range, siege to siege, and wall general to wall general. That's it. You can't bind a range to a ground or mixed troop or anything like that. So I'm going to go into the siege right here, and I just need to get this green specialty on Raimondo all the way maxed out. So I'll select him in my grant, and I'll show you where this is not, it could almost offset itself, but I'll have to see to find out. When I do this, because Grant's leadership and attack is so much lower, Raimondo's actually going to lose some leadership points, some attack points, some defense points, and some politic points. It's not a whole lot. With what I'm gaining with his final specialty, I think it'll be a lot better. We can come in here to the portraits and we can find out. Come down to Raimondo, and it's going to give him 40% more attack and 25% more defense. So he has right now, he has right now only 4. So it's going to add 36% attack and 23% defense. I think that's going to be a lot better. I just use him for a secondary march. Like if I'm in battlefield and I send a siege march to defend a mine, and then somebody else needs a siege march. That way I don't have to recall it. I got somebody else that's just as good. Usually I send him to reinforce, because I put some Abyss gear on him to get me that siege attack and some siege debuff and range debuff. So y'all looking at this, he's my secondary general. I use Palace as my main, but I've been having trouble getting her fragments. So I've been trying to upgrade and amplify my Civ gear. So let's go back and we'll do this. And I will write in the comments, y'all ask me, I'll let y'all know if it actually did improve. I don't want to do all that on the video. So Raimondo, and I got Ulysses, because remember, he's the only one that's awakened, only one with max specialties. Hit select, bind. This will be the first time. Oh, after they are bound 10 times, they will no longer use any more essence. So it won't use any more essence. I can just come in here and bind him. So that is pretty cool, but it takes a lot. The essences are not cheap. I've only been able to bind 3 times, and I've been playing for a year and a half. So, and I don't coin a whole lot, but you do have to coin to get it. So I'm going to bind them, and it says right here for 14 days. So that's kind of how the binding works. It's pretty simple. Let's talk a little bit about these covenants and some of the new generals. Theodosius, whatever. Some of these names y'all cannot pronounce. He's the new siege general. He's okay. I got. All right, so I'm gonna pause every now and then so I can pull up my spreadsheets and talk about these and compare them. So Theodosius, he's good general. He's a premium, so he's going to be hard to ascend. But if you fully awaken him and put all his specialties are maxed out, and you're able to max out his covenant, I have in here on my spreadsheet. Now these are just basis, doesn't go on everything else. It just goes off of those numbers. And he has an attack of 175, 175%. 75% HP, and 150% defense. Now, that is the second highest defense, and that is mediocre, pretty high HP, and the attack is about the 4th or 5th highest. So he is a good general. If you're able to get him and you spend money in that event and you got him, he's a very decent for the main. I don't know who all he pairs with exactly yet. I haven't tried. He does have all his stats right here. They are marching, so he's not good to put on the wall, and he's not that good for reinforcing other teammates. He will reinforce a building and throne and stuff like that. So not bad general. All right, now let's get into the good stuff here. They released 3 new range generals since my last video. You have Merlin, Ragnar, and Sigurd. All 3 of them in my spreadsheets, ranking with just specialties, covenants, and awakening skills. Ragnar has the highest attack at 210%. Agrippa is 190. Sigurd is 183. And Merlin is 180%. And all 3 of the new ones, Merlin, Sigurd, and Ragnar, have an HP of anywhere from 120 to 135. And a defense of 130 to 160%. And they all add at least an 8% march size. Sigurd adds an extra 40% march speed. I need to double check that. I think that's correct. Make sure there's not a typo in there, because that's a lot. So these generals right here, they're all covenant generals. So these new generals are releasing. They release with these covenants. And if you look at these covenants, they add these buffs right here to this general. So this general, when I get all these covenants, would have march size, range troop, in rally capacity, and range troop HP, and a couple more down there that aren't in the screenshot. So the other buffs that are here, though, is the training speed for range troops and march speed for everybody. So if it has the gold helmet beside it, it will buff every marching troop in your city. So if I send out a ground march or a siege march, that march speed right there is buffed onto them from him. But not the ones with the silver helmet. The ones in red are only for Merlin. So that is very good at using generals with these new covenants. They work on assistant generals too. So all your assistant generals, I highly recommend, if you're able to get a premium general, max out their covenant and put them as an assistant. Because that covenant is just a little extra boost that old generals don't have. And the top four in the range, like I said, we got Ragnar, Agrippa, Sigurd, and Merlin are the top four range generals, in my opinion, and from the stats that I add up. It's crazy. They're just making these generals stronger and stronger. And yeah, it's got to be pay to play to keep up, my guys. It's crazy. Let's go down here. Ragnar. I did not get Sigurd. I got that actual chest from the event, and I picked Messina because I wanted to add into covenants for Prime, so I can just get him a little bit more. But Ragnar, he has a very strong range attack, and he has a good covenant. You saw Merlin had a march speed. Well, Ragnar down here has an end rally range troop attack that buffs everybody. So these generals right here, you want them and you want the covenants. The covenant stones you get, it takes 50 for each one. So it'd be 50 plus 50 is 100, it's 200, 300 stones to do all these covenants. And you only get 7 a day. So every 8 days, you can add a new covenant on. We'll go over here and let's look at the other new one real quick. I think it was in others. Sigurd. And he is very good. I want to look at that march speed. So he does add a march speed plus 30% right there once you get him to 3 stars. And his covenant adds another 10% march speed to everybody. So he does technically have a 40% march speed boost. That's very good. March speed is very essential in fighting. Faster your troops get there and back, faster you are, you can send more out. So I would definitely say Sigurd's probably the #1 assistant general right now. It's probably a toss-up between him and Ragnar. And we could even throw Agrippa in there if you, depending on what you want. If you need HP, definitely Merlin has got a higher HP than any of them. If you want attack, Ragnar's got the most attack. You would have to look at the assistant books because obviously all those stars and all those percentages don't count. So looking at my assistant spreadsheet for range, Agrippa still has 140% attack. And the way I did that was with the assistant, I only add their main skill right here, the very top one, no red stars, and I add in all their specialties, and I add in all their covenants. And Agrippa comes in at, no, I'm sorry, Ragnar is #1 with 150% attack. He had 70% HP and 90% defense. So Ragnar is by far, in my opinion, probably the top one. Sigurd is very good. He only adds 125 attack for an assistant, but he adds 105 HP and 90% defense. Agrippa, who I've been using, adds 140 attack, only 45% HP, and a 95% defense, but he adds a 15% march speed. So once I get Ragnar's covenants opened up, I will definitely bind him and make him my assistant, and he will be adding a lot. So that's what we want to look at, is when we're doing that, we're adding these new assistants. We have these covenants, and these covenants just add so much more to these generals that you were unable to do before. And I do include the skins in my spreadsheets. I'm doing these to the full max. I'm doing the most you can get out of from their skills, specialties, and covenants. I don't add on skill books. I did on my spreadsheet though, and it's about 90% done. If they're highlighted in yellow, they can add an attack book. If they're not, they can't. So I got Subtai, Eleanor, and Conrad in white. I don't have Eleanor or Conrad, but from what I read online, you can't add an attack book. So if that is incorrect, let me know, and I can fix that. Let's look at... And the other general that was released is Washington Prime. And he is not that great. And I don't know what they were thinking when they did this. They didn't make him like Prime, like all the way up. Him maxed out, and this is everything done, and it's a lot, is 160% attack. Prime, he's got 225% attack. It's massive. It's massive. He does have a high HP. He's got the second highest HP next to Jarvaramaran at 130%. He's got a decent defense at 95%. He has a march size, though, and this is where he does get good, at 31% and a march speed of 30%. So he's not a bad general, but to get all those stats, you've got to spend a lot of money to get him, and it's not something that I would do for a mounted general. Prime I was, just because of his insanely high stats and everything except HP. He's the one to go to. And the last thing I want to talk about is this general right here. And I got him in the event. I forgot the name of it. It was one of his last events in the last couple weeks. And Cimon. Let's take a look at him. I got him as a sub-general. He reduces enemy ranged troop attack and siege attack by 40%. Enemy siege machine defense and HP by 30. So we know from all my videos and everything else, siege HP debuff is the most important. And it's becoming more important because all these big keeps are attacking with heavy and hard, high buffed, high power, and I'm talking 30, 40, and 50 million troop rallies I'm seeing with anywhere from 2,500 to 3,500 siege buffs. We need to debuff that if we're going to survive or come off with a good point trade. And this guy right here is going to help you. I have him on one of my sub-cities, and I'm working on getting his specialty up. So he had a 30% there. But right here, he debuffs another siege HP by 20%. So he has got a 50% siege debuff right there. And an enemy attack 10%. And the siege attack 25%, range attack, and range troop and siege machine defense 20%. In my opinion, this guy's a beast. He's awesome. And he was relatively cheap to get. It wasn't easy, but it also wasn't, you didn't have to get Party Cake 5 to get him. And last but not least, the new event that they added. And I believe it's going to be here to stay. The Lucky Jackpot. I used to hate this event. Now I love it. So, and I got a question maybe somebody can answer in the comments too. Like I said, I don't know everything. I'm still learning, y'all. But the new jackpot event, these redeeming rewards are great. Especially right here, the third one down, the debuff skill books. Man, do I love them. You can put them on your wall generals, marching generals, sub generals, whatever you want. I personally am putting them on sub generals because I got 10 sub generals that I use at a time. I got 9 subs plus my main. And so that gives me 30 books that I can grab and I can put on. So that's what I go for. I get them and I just redeem them. I thought about it though. It's they're having the event run for 10 days now. So I think it been about 8 days ago, I think, or 7. It's like a 9 or 10 day event. Hopefully it stays like this. So you come in here and you start off, go right here, and you get a token right there for free. I think it's just to sign in every day. Then if we click on Proof of Fortune right up here in the corner, you hit Challenge, come down, and there we go. We got another 20, 40, 60 chips. So you can get 6 spins right there. And one day, 10 times. And when you spin, it doubles. I found when I was spinning for the 50, I would get 1 item and it would be multiplied. I didn't like that, so I was spinning single, and I get more and more. I seem to do a little bit better. It's just probability, though. It is what it is. But you could also get this General Mayor optional chest, who has got Flavius, that everybody knows is hard to get, Darius, and John Carroll. So you get some good options here, and you can get a permanent keep with some decent buffs. If you probably got to spend a good bit of money to get that. But this event is there. It's back to stay. I hope it's back to stay. They added some new features to it. It's definitely awesome. Even after you get to 100 spins, you still get another 20 tokens or chips back. So you can spend 2 more times. So definitely an upgrade on Evony's part. And let's look. This was my question for y'all with these debuff skill books. If anybody knows. Right here I got 2 of them. So I took a chance to see what would happen. And I had one, and then I added another one. I had this number 2 right here, enemy ground troop defense. And then I also got enemy mounted troop HP. Because that's what Armistice does, so I'm just kind of buffing his a little bit more. But if I were to go right now and add, and I still have some level 1s I haven't added on yet, but say I wanted to add, if I add mounted attack. I'm wondering if, since it's a premium skill book, will it be gone forever? Or will it go back into my inventory? Kind of like civilization gear. You can't just throw away the gear. Even if you dismiss that general, the gear comes right on back to your inventory. So that's what I'm curious about, if anybody knows. Or if I replace it, if it's gone forever. But like I said, very good event upgrade. Video's getting to 22 minutes, so I'm going to cut it out of here. Like, subscribe, y'all. Follow me. If you have any questions, y'all want any videos, any more events, I'll get some more. My kids start back school soon, so I'll definitely get some more videos when I got some more quiet time around the house. Thank y'all for watching.